Well, for more on the situation facing Christians in Iraq and Syria too, let's go to Dr. Amal Marogy. She's an expert in Neo-Aramaic studies with the University of Cambridge, and she's taken a long look at cultural minorities in the Middle East. And Dr. Marogy, I know that you recently were in Iraq, and I wonder if you would pick up on the report that we've just seen and answer this very blunt question. From what you see, do you think that the Christian communities, and let's start with Iraq, are essentially facing extinction?
I think so, yes. It is not so much the religion itself, but the historic communities. As you mentioned, it is the heartland of Christianity. These communities predate Islam. They are part and parcel of the historic and social fabric of these countries and lands. And what we are seeing now, it's really a wave of extermination, of eradication of these communities. It is uprooting these communities from their heartland, and they don't know where to go, basically. So they are living in a limbo. They don't know if they are going to stay, if they have any future left for them in the country.
What do they want? I know you've spoken to quite a number of them in different camps. I think there are some in a caravan camp that you met. Would they, you know, like to stay, to sit it out in some sort of protected area and wait for the situation to change? Or, as the priest in the report suggested, would many of them like the West to open its gates and make a decision to leave the region, go into exile, and in a sense make a new life far, far away from the Middle East? What do they want?
Yeah, what I've seen talking to these people, I think that you have now two groups. There is a group that has given up every hope of ever being able to go back to their homes, to their lands, and they are very scared about the future of their children. And I think that families with daughters they are thinking twice about staying in these countries, really. You know, it is a nightmare when they are thinking, well, whenever I was talking to them and they say, it's not about us, it's about our children. And some families, they were saying, what about my daughters? I have 2 daughters or 3 daughters, and you see what is happening to the Yazidis and some Christian women. So this is not exactly what I want for my children. On the other hand, you have another group who is adamant. They are very resilient, and they refuse to leave. They think this is our homelands, this is where we are going to stay, and they are saying that it doesn't matter whether it takes 10, 20, 30 years, they're going to stay there.
Well,
the only thing that they fear is whether Kurdistan is going to stay a safe haven for them till they go back home.
Well, that's briefly, if you would, that's the last point I wanted to ask you about. Is there a chance that the Kurdish areas, with the Peshmerga forces that protect them, could be a realistic safe haven for quite a large number of Christians who fled from elsewhere?
I think that at the moment it seems that Kurdistan is the only safe haven for these communities. And what is special now about Kurdistan is that you have all these historic communities that they were spread all over Iraq, now concentrated in Kurdistan. So the question is that, is Kurdistan going to remain safe for these communities? Because honestly, we don't know what's going to happen to them if something happened to Kurdistan.
Indeed. Well, Dr. Amal Marogy, I really thank you for joining us on GMT today. Thank you very much indeed. Now,